All right, welcome to another installment of the Fragments of Silicon reviews. You might know we are recording on an irregular day, and we only have 3 games this week. As mentioned previously, I have been having problems with my laptop. They are still ongoing. I contacted the shop today. They told me that they are running diagnostics right now, a suite of diagnostics, if you will,
Ooh.
to I think he might have been trumping that up a bit more, but
Yeah.
they're still trying. They're still trying to isolate the actual issue. I'm like, um, so that's still being worked on. I still don't have a timeline on when I'll get the laptop back. Um, we'll see how things go for next week's review sessions, but and as far as our weekly schedule goes, that would be unchanged considering I can do this show from a phone because I'm not in charge of the recording software. Yeah. Anyway, so our first game is, I may mispronounce this because, well, it's Portuguese. It's 99 Vidyas or Vidias. Genuinely not sure. And Galax hasn't arrived yet. Once again, regular time and day. Hopefully he will show up for his review. Anyway, 99 Vidyas is Brazilian Portuguese for 99 lives. And this is a brawler or a beat 'em up in the style of, Final Fights, Battletoads, and so on and so forth. Streets of Rage. Only this isn't a classic brawler from the 90s or anything like that. This is a relatively modern beat 'em up. And by that I say that, this game was released at this stage 2000 like at the end of 2016, like 5 years ago.
Hmm.
Still it's something that invokes the past, as we see with a lot of these retro games. Like playing through the game, I could see a lot of Streets of Rage in this pretty immediately. Not just in like the setting, but in the music as well, from what I could hear. Uh, so I will preface this by saying that I did not get as much experience with this game as I wanted to, because once again, I played the game up until last Tuesday, and then my computer ended up in the repair shop, so that kind of stunted things. Thankfully, it being a brawler, it's not real hard to get your head around it. It functions well like a brawler does. I'd say it does have a bit more of a robust move set than a brawler you would have gotten in the 90s. You've got you've got your punches, you got your kicks, you've got a running punch move, you've got a running kick move, you've got a jumping punch move, a jumping kick move, and you've got a I'm not sure what to call it. Let's say a grab cancel, um, by pressing like what was the attack and kick buttons together or something like that. And you got your special attack that drains your life. Um, so a pretty robust basic move set there, like I said. And since this is a modern brawler, it's also expanded by the purchase of combat moves in a store. If you played Double Dragon Neon, you'll probably be familiar with this concept. But how it works in 99 Vidyas here is, as you fight through the stage, you get a score like you would in a lot of brawlers. But here's the thing: the score isn't for the purposes of putting it up on a leaderboard or high score table. You use the score to purchase items in between stages, or not so much items, but this is where you get like a combo move, not just of like your basic punches and kicks, but the game does reward variety. Like if you do 3 punches and a kick, and you have the combo for it, that'll do something different. You can also buy extra lives at the shop. You start out with 5 lives, which may seem like a lot, but this is this brawler
go through your lives fast.
Yes, it does keep that spirit alive. Also worth noting that this game is based off of you being elemental guardian, so different characters will attack with different elemental abilities. Like there's a ice user, there's a lightning user, that kind of deal. The characters aren't just copy and paste renditions of each other. They do have different strengths, different speeds, that is something you would have seen by the 90s. Now, so yeah, it all plays rather well, if a bit bland. I say this not just because, like, say, Streets of Rage 4 came out, which we reviewed, about 2 years ago? Yeah. But like other indie retro brawlers, I didn't find this as quite as compelling as, say, Fight and Rage, which I played not too long ago. It's not bad. I'm just saying this probably would have been more amazing in 2016 than 2022. The scene, as it were, has evolved a lot since, in the intervening 5 years. That being said, it's not a bad purchase. About that, I do have to go through some history here, because Petty Fan here has pulled up the definitive edition of 99Vidyas, which is the Nintendo Switch version. So, like, this game initially came out in Steam in 2016. Then it got a PlayStation 4 release. And on the PlayStation 4 rendition, there was a DLC pack called, like, the Final Battle, which had a let me see here.
Spoilers, it wasn't.
I mean, it might have. Like,
because there was further stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, this was ported to all the consoles, but for some reason, I don't know if it came up in our Qbyte interviews. It might have, but the PlayStation 4 got DLC stuff, and it only appeared on that platform until the Switch version, which I believe combined the base game with the DLC, hence the tagging of the definitive edition. And given that in mind, that's probably the version you're going to want to purchase. You can get this on the PC, the Xbox. And the game is old enough where you could even get it on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 if you're still rocking those somehow in this year. Like, also worth noting, the Switch version is on a very steep discount, about $2, and not sure what it is, like regular price on the Switch, but the PC version, $10, which means it's also cheaper than the Steam version normally. I don't like that, but I guess that's the problem with being first, because the Steam version, the original version, comes to $13. Plus, it does have a DLC. It has the soundtrack here, which might be the only place to purchase it. But I'll state right now, get the Switch version, because that's got all the bells and whistles. That's cheaper. I guess if you can't, then as far as the as far as this game at $13, that's a bit steep for a brawler, especially since it does for whatever reason they didn't bring the extras to the platform, to any of the other platforms. But yeah, I'd say this is a solid 7 out of 10 retro style brawler. Any questions, comments, or concerns about 99Vidyas?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
I will say it
All right.
plays kind of like a slower version of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World for anyone who's played that.
Yeah, I was thinking about comparing the art style to that.
Yeah, I just never played Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
I did. It's even on my 360.
Yeah, well, that's because they didn't release a PC version until last year.
Something like that.
And yeah,
Until after it got licensed salvaged, yes.
yeah. And even then, it appeared on the Epic Games Store only because Ubisoft. But that's a discussion for another day. Anyway, so that'll about do it for 99Vidyas. Be sure to tune in after the break as Petty Fan will be reviewing Mars Underground. And no, not the band.